Welcome to our 5th edition game in the Points of Light setting. Let's watch the intro. When last we left our heroes, they defeated the wyverns and many of the trolls. The hills of the valley are familiar to Johan, and the other heroes are willing to indulge in a short detour to his laboratory that had never been mentioned before. So, the party is standing. It's about noon in the clearing. It's about a 4-hour journey to the southeast. Basically, you have to reach the edge of the mountains to the east of you. So, on the world map, in the hex that you are, you basically have to cross to the hex east of you, and instead of heading north, you're heading south. So you'd be close to the bottom of the T instead of closer to the top. You move over these wooded hills. It's evergreen trees. There's little underbrush. There's some dry pine needles on the ground, but the foliage is quite green. It feels like the valley is different than the mountains you were in that if a wildfire raged through this valley, it wouldn't burn in the same way. It would require something else to really burn, and then it would be disastrous. This would go, you guys can see the map, it's a huge forested valley that heads north and south. Some of the answer reaches you after about 3 hours of travel as you cross over to the next hex. Johan, you are going up and down these hills. You pass over a small stream, barely a trickle, really, on a gulch that cuts through these hills. You don't remember this stream, and you're pretty close. A water source this close would have been really useful in those early days. You look up into the mountains. There's the faintest specks of white on the top of the mountains, and you realize the water that's flowing through here is the last of the snow melting and running down the mountain, and also explains probably why this area is greener. It's the rain that falls on the mountains flows into and keeps these trees fed better than on the slopes.
The last time that I was here, what
It was
season?
11 months ago. It was fall, so it's late summer now. It was the fall when last you were here. So you guys started around noon in the clearing, so it's close to 4 p.m. It's summer, so there's still several hours of sunlight left. And you reach the main mountain that you were headed to. It's covered in small shadowed alcoves. It takes you a couple of attempts until you find the right cave. It's small. It's barely wide enough for Siege to walk into. You'd have to leave El Gato and the rest of your mounts outside to step in.
Are we there yet?
Yes. After 2 attempts at walking up the mountain to these small caves, it's just a shadow. There's nothing in there. There were some bear tracks, maybe, but no animal. But now you've reached the right cave.
Just a thing that I said last session that I was gonna do in this track. I'm gonna look for the flowers and the different
Yes.
herbs I need to do the tonic.
Go ahead and make a survival check. The DC is 15, and for every 5 above that, you'll get enough for an additional dose.
Can I ask for help for this?
Sure.
I asked,
right now you're not the one in the lead, so you have
Yeah.
you and
Yeah,
someone else can go.
I told Lena to
Yeah.
to sketch them, so everybody could be looking out for the
Oh, that's
herbs
clever.
I need.
That's actually really good because I need more things for the journal. So
Yeah.
Nina would be very happy to draw those for you.
Yeah. So
Um,
a combination of sorry, descriptions and small illusions, minor illusions. I tell her how to draw them and to actually pass them around. I'll say like, I'm looking for this. We're gonna need them if things get awry. So I hope that would be with advantage.
Yes, Lena, this feels very much like what your job used to be. It's rarely flowers. It's usually more like geological formations or carvings. But
Yeah.
going to a description and going, does this look right? No, the color is different. No, the petals curve in this shape. That sort of thing. Very
Yeah. How distinct is this from any other flowers that I know from?
yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. That's my jam.
Apparently, Keldev is very bad at descriptions because I rolled
Actually,
9
could I?
with an
Oh, no, it's too
11.
late.
With advantage?
Yeah.
It's too late. I'm sorry. I was thinking about it, but yeah.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Could I,
do-
DM? Would you
actually
allow me?
do- no. By the way, I do have inspiration.
Hey.
You
I've
can go
never
ahead.
used it. Can I? I really want to try to.
The DM's inspiration?
Yeah, the DM's inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm asking about that.
Mhm.
I can,
Go
I
ahead.
can use that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we haven't used it much yet, but we have the
Not.
destinies.
Not.
Wow.
I have. Don't worry, it's a 13, so I still fail. It's all good.
It's so it's frustrating. There's so much vegetation here, but it's not what you're looking for. And you're trying to remember the druid, Brythan, she kept a small underground little shaded cove. Like just maybe a meter underground, basically sort of an improvised greenhouse where she could control how the plants grew. And there's just nothing exactly like that. And then there's a moment where you think you found it, and you approach, and the color is right, but the shape are wrong. The amount of petals is different. It's related, but it's not. It's not
Okay.
what you were looking for. So unfortunately, you will remain without. Your
When we get
energy
to
drink.
there, I'll go back to Mara and say, "I'm sorry. I'll restock you when we can." Context for Patty: you were the one that gave me your last exhaustion potion, the one that I gave you. So I'm actually telling. That's why I'm telling you this.
Yes.
Okay.
Keldav breathed in too much smoke from the wildfire and had suffered 2 levels of exhaustion,
Okay.
so would not have recovered with a long rest. And so this morning he took some energizing tea.
Oh, can,
All right.
we, in retrospect, can we do the inspiring feat for everybody? That I did?
Can you post the text? Is it anytime you have 10 minutes, or is it like once per day?
I think it's
It's been a while
think
since I played my
once
paladin, so I don't
per
remember.
day, yeah. Let me look at this thing. Come on, where is this? Where is it on the sheet? Here it is. Inspiring leader. Come on. Let me check. There it is. Says.
You could have
Until-
taken a short rest after the troll fight and wyvern fight, so
Sure.
Oh,
if you
good
guys
point.
decided to do that and replenish any resources, yeah.
Welcome short rest. I'm going to use a hit dice.
Okay. So, you're standing on this side of a mountain. It's in sunlight, as it's you're on the western slope, and the sun hasn't yet set behind the mountains of Hammerfast. Johan, you see this narrow cave, and beyond it you see the opening. It's dark. You remember it was quite dim within, but you were able to see. And you step forward, and the rest of you see as Johan steps into this small, maybe 2 meter deep cave, and it narrows until it reaches a dead end. Johan steps right through it, and you have a moment where was it a trick of the light? It's not a dead end. It was just the shadows were in such a way where it seemed like there was nothing else to the cave. But you saw, and then you saw him step through stone. Like, it was shadowed, but it was a clear wall. There was an illusion there that made it seem like this was just like the previous small caves that you had reached in the mountain.
So I'm gonna step out. All right.
Johan, you saw no illusion. To you, this has always been open.
All right. So, I know that I was the one to request that we take this detour.
Yes.
And I'm showing, well, how do I say this? For someone so humble as me, a show of trust in you. This place is quite special for me, so I don't want you to make a mess about it. So if you can't trust me, promise me that you are going to behave yourselves, please remain outside.
I don't understand. I can behave.
I don't. Okay, that's all I want to hear. What about the rest? Can you behave?
I mean, when you say behave, is there a list of things that we're not supposed to do?
Yeah, define behave.
Yeah, because that is extremely broad.
Are you
But the
stupid?
cave is small.
Wait, what?
Sam says,
Stupid.
I do not believe they are.
Stupid people do stupid things. If you are stupid, don't do stupid things. Like, don't touch something that you don't know. Maybe it could just erase your hand forever.
Well, what if we step on a type of plant that you need and we didn't realize? Right? Or, for example, if you're a druid, right, and I step on grass, would that be offensive to you?
No need
So-
for hypothetics. I'm not a druid. This is not grass. This is a laboratory. There's
but I
gonna be
mean-
glass and beakers and,
Yeah,
and
but
books.
All right,
Don't-
so we're not supposed to touch any glass. We're not supposed to touch any books.
Yeah, don't draw something in somewhere. Just behave.
All
This
right.
is a show of trust.
So
Trust.
we don't do anything there.
No,
We
Well-
observe, says Sam.
oh, I don't know. Just come in. Whatever. I tried.
Johan
What-
turns and steps through the illusion again. Maravilla, you see Penelope lift an eye, sort of turn and look at you, and you realize, to Penelope, that is still a solid rock wall. And Johan has come out and back in, and he's like looking at you, and you're not concerned. So she goes back to being like, it's cool.
By the way, Sam does it. He
Turns to the side and scrapes through.
All right.
So we can go inside
Yeah,
the
it's-
mounts?
I mean, the mounts could squeeze through. I think probably El Gato would have the hardest time. It's possible that Rohit's antlers might scrape against the walls.
El Gato's gonna stay outside with Giretha. They're I'm basically, and this is something that I'm gonna try to start doing, is guiding El Gato with Giretha. So they're gonna start playing more.
Okay, that's cool.
So, no one beside me has been on this place. That's why I'm kind of apprehensive
Wait,
about it.
just a question. I really don't. I don't want to do anything wrong for you. I really don't. Do you see the illusion?
What illusion? What do you mean?
You've
Come
been
inside.
crossing. You're standing in an illusion. There's a dead end here.
The rest of you no longer see it. Once he crossed
okay.
through, to the rest of you, it seemed like it was
Okay,
never
I thought
there.
we
It was
said-
just a
okay.
trick of the shadow cast by the walls of the
Okay,
cave.
I understood. I understood it incorrectly. I thought we were that he couldn't see it and we could.
Once he crossed it, to
Okay.
you it faded like a visual effect, like a fade from a shadowed but solid stone to a shadowed passage, to where if you hadn't been looking right at it, it might have been, oh, I think I didn't see. Yeah, no, there's a passage there. But because you saw Johan walk right through and disappear, it's obvious to you, no, there was an illusion there.
Okay,
And it's-
so I'm gonna change the question.
Yeah.
Did you make this illusion?
What do you mean?
There was an illusion. You walked through.
There
and
is
now
a
we can
path.
see through.
Keldov, why are you acting weird? There is a path.
Johan, I'm really trying here. I'm not trying to be like. I'm not trying to be. I'm telling you what I just saw, and I'm looking towards everyone. Like everyone saw the same thing, right?
Yes.
So there was an illusion.
I saw
You
rock.
crossed it, and we now can see through it. I'm asking if you did that.
Yes.
This is your laboratory. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna do an insight for that. I'm sorry.
While you're doing that, I think that Gufram pulls out the Wand of Secrets and starts doing like the enchanting at the wall.
Yes, dude.
Okay.
Yes.
I love
And
it.
you post the text for the wand?
Sure. So I go,
Yeah.
Wand of Fear, Wand of Light, show me any hidden things within sight. And I do it like almost like imitating like any sort of like fairy tale, like fairy godmother using a
By the way,
so
Kilda has
cute.
used that, and he just did this. And you didn't see that.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm just saying, everybody like that saw the one working.
Yeah.
Kilda did just like a flick of the wrist.
just flick it.
Yeah. So there's a small, nearly imperceptible pulse, like a shift in the air as it extends, and there is no secret door or trap within 30 feet of you, but you saw that pulse move into the darkness and further in. So what was the
I'll
insight?
I rolled a bit high, so that's 26.
I roll high. I'm not near that. I roll an 18 plus 1.
So, did you do it?
Did I see the illusion?
No. Johan, this has always been a normal cave to you.
Okay, so
I say that, yeah, but
okay.
it has been
But
always.
so did I gather that like Johan doesn't even know what I'm talking about?
Correct. He doesn't know what illusion you were talking about.
Okay.
Like, he has now gathered from context that there was something there that was hiding the cave from your sight.
Okay.
But yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, like if you asked him, here,
good.
draw where the illusion was, like make a line on the ground, he wouldn't be able to get it. I mean, he might be able to
Yeah.
guess, but
I'm not gonna press, but I'm still looking at Johan with I am not suspicious. I'm actually, Keldev is not being suspicious right now. Keldev is not understanding.
Yeah,
Like,
it's certainly
why-
curious.
Yeah, like why the fuck would you lie about that? Like, this is like when you are when you're in school or in the beginning of college, and someone actually like met a girl and they kissed and it's all good, and he's lying about grabbing a boob. It's like, why are you lying on something so
Yeah.
nonsensical? Okay, all good.
Yeah, this is my laboratory, and I made that illusion. You know,
Okay.
keep it safe.
Great.
Oh, okay.
You had this before that we meet?
Of course. I'm like 30 something years old. Like, what did you expect? That I just materialized myself when I met you? I have a life before.
That's good. I only have
Yeah.
3 years conscious.
And some before, I guess, and plenty more ahead of you.
Tam goes, it's only been a few months for me, not yet a year.
Well, yeah.
I'm confused. We are younger or the oldest?
Time is tricky.
I'm heading inside.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
I think
I'll
Lena
follow.
would need, and I don't know if Siege has dark vision. It's
No, I
dark
don't.
within the cave.
I don't have a dark vision, but
I
I'm
go-
just touching the wall.
I eagerly go inside. I'm very curious.
I'm
I'll
going
go
to
inside
grab
and
the axe and cast light.
Sure.
I'll go inside with my rapier out. That is a very dim light, but it works for Keldev.
Sure.
And I'll be actually checking for traps, because right now I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Sure. Johan, so you step forward with your hand on the wall, and then behind you, several of your traveling companions activate magical light sources, and the cave becomes illuminated, and once again you are seeing what you remember. It's a narrow cave. The walls are bare rock. It's probably been here for decades, maybe centuries. Probably left here by water flowing through here. But there's no trace on the ground now of any of this place getting flooded or any water passing through. It's maybe a dozen meters of this narrow cave before it opens up an alcove to the south, it would be. And the first thing you see is one of the workshop areas. There's a long wooden work table. It's bare, covered in dust, and there are tools hanging from a rack. Simple tools. There are some hammers, pliers, calipers, and tongs. And then the rest of the cave continues further into the dark. The rest of you going behind, Keldav, you're checking along the ceiling for traps, going along the walls. It's an interesting environment. It's almost reminiscent of the very first exploration that you did with back then Siege and Johan in an abandoned mine that had been repurposed by kobolds. There were multiple rooms that were like this, and the kind of traps they would set would be a tripwire tied to a crossbow, that sort of thing. And you realize, yeah, there hasn't been sign of construction on the walls or the ceiling where you could hide something like a portcullis, like a trap door. So there's not a lot of space for mundane traps here. But there was an illusion. There could be magical traps. One thing that you notice, your blade emits fairly dim light. It's not reaching as far as you're used to. Siege, you're holding up the flaming axe. It lights up the space around you. The walls of the cave, narrow as it is, are fully lit by the bright flame. But into the darkness of the cave, it seems like the light fades quickly. As you're stepping, you hear the noise of your footsteps echo into the darkness, and some of it reflects back at you of the noise. I think, Lena, you're walking and you think, this is a creepy cave. It's dark. The noise is weird. It's a creepy cave.
I expected so much more, like an incredible tower. This just has a cave? Okay. I'm just gonna. Does it have any?
Did you say
does-
that
does,
out loud?
No, no.
So
she's
Johan, I
thinking that.
say.
She's thinking that because
He's
she
so
is.
Johan.
'Cause she's respectful,
Yeah.
kind of.
Kinda.
Is my lamp affected by that too in the same
Yeah,
way?
you-
'Cause
all of you
I'm-
find-
oh.
The lights you have are working, but mechanically, if something would emit bright light to 30 feet and dim light to another 30 feet, that's reduced to half.
Huh.
Just so everybody understand, the rapier that Kedlev has is 15 and 15, so it's just like a
Yeah.
square and a half. Like,
Got a couple of meters of bright light.
Johan, this
So you
place
reach
is
this
safe.
first opening. Johan, do you go into this
Yeah.
workspace?
You would see Johan just stepping in and passing his hand over the tools like, oh, my friends. So long
Yeah.
without seeing you.
Can I mutter a quick prayer and use divine sense?
Absolutely.
Sure.
You focus on the eternal flame, Lehaba, and all of you see as Gufran's eyes shine with the divine light that she channels.
Yeah.
There are no undead, fiends, fae around you. And yeah, you're looking forward, looking back. There's a faint trace of necromantic energy around Johan, but that has been the case since you've seen him in the last week.
Daniel, question, a little weird question. Does any tools here that we see be close or near close to what my creator use for
No, these
Warforge or construct?
They're smaller than you would expect for a blacksmith, and you're looking around in this space. There's no place for a forge. There's no place for an exhaust, a chimney to take away the fumes. But they're like tinker's tools. They're like someone who was doing not even delicate enough for jewelry work. It's extremely simple, tools. I mean,
like the armor that Johan had, like that size.
I mean, you could do a little bit of work on some of like the circuitry, some of the more fiddly bits with these. So yeah, you could tinker maybe with some gear works, some gearboxes, but for like Johan had some heavy plates to protect him, which now are covering up Sam.
Some.
But you couldn't work that right now.
Okay.
Let's continue. This is just a part. And
Johan,
I
this place
continue.
is safe.
Why it shouldn't be? Like I said, this is my lab. One of my labs.
Okay.
Yeah, you step back into the hallway, this narrow cave that continues deeper into the mountain. It's maybe a handful of paces more before there's a turn that was hard to see, hidden by the darker shadow cast by your lights, and it opens up into a much larger chamber. And Johan, this is exactly as you remembered. There are glass shards all over the floor. There's the broken contraption, and in the corner of the somewhat circular room, still bare cave walls, you see an empty vat, empty of even fluid. It's just the metal base and the glass container.
Sorry, can you explain? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the like. Is it a container with a like a
So-
metal container? How big?
The rest of you, as you step in, some of your lights aren't bright enough to reach the end of this chamber. It's maybe 20 meters wide. It would be, I forget how much it would be in feet. I did not make a battle map for this cave. But as you're stepping inside, first you see some glint, some reflection of glass shards on the ground near the center of the room. And then on one of the sides, there's a large, probably 1.5 meters wide, so 5 feet wide, circular metal base, maybe 1 meter tall. There's steel, there's brass, and you see there's faint bits of glass shards that were jutting out of it. And as you step further into the room, there's a clear reflection of a similar contraption on the end of the room that is intact. A large metal base, a tall glass container, at least 2 meters tall, so over 6 feet, big enough for someone, maybe not Siege, but a medium-sized creature to be in that container.
Can I ask? I need to ask Diego a question because I don't remember if this was like something that Alejandro told me or something that Johan said. I remember that at the beginning, like the first couple of sessions, there was a talk about like Johan being having like a weird skin, and I don't remember if you said something about the accident, like you had an accident or something like that. I don't know if Johan said it or if Alejandro said it. I'm asking Alejandro if you can remember that.
I always describe Johan like having sickly pale skin,
Yeah.
and you have seen his hands, some wounds or injuries, like burns from acid or something. I said the accident last session that I left this laboratory after some accidents.
Okay.
You would gather that the things on the hands is usually he's just tinkering with.
Yeah, but his skin, the other skin, no.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So most of his skin is quite pale. On his hands and forearms, there are these chemical burn marks.
I would like to use detect magic actually.
Sure. So
Sorry.
what does it look like as Johan casts detect magic?
Before, Johan usually would do some rare component or inject something to himself. For the first time, it's just a flick of the wrist, and his eyes light up in a deep gold.
That's
You
new.
open your eyes now. You sweep through the contraptions in this room. There is significant magic present in both devices. You're looking at the glass shards on the ground in front of you, and you realize the glass has minute etchings of runes. And you look at the container that remains, and you see the completed effects. There are necromantic runes, there are abjuration runes, there's some conjuration, evocation, there's a dozen different effects. You realize some things to provide sustenance, to remove waste. It's a life support system that is powered by the base and maintained by the jar, and it's self-sufficient. And you realize even though the materials are not that expensive, the amount of work and the process of enchanting this would be quite an endeavor. And to have two of them, one that doesn't even seem to be in use, like that, this is a significant amount of resources. And you're looking, it seems complete. Like all the space in the jar is used for the runic array.
So it seems like everything is as is. I left it.
What happened here? What happened here?
this is my lab.
This
I
is
woke up here.
What?
what?
That
So
Wait.
Wait, what?
Do you have a memory before you woke up here?
okay. Some
You were
some
real?
explaining for some simpletons is in order. Like I said, I'm a really powerful individual. I was not lying when I tell you that I was pretty much the most important person that you have ever known. Are you familiar with the spell of clone?
I don't know. Am I?
Could I be?
What?
Make an
familiar
Arcana
with
check.
that? I will definitely make an Arcana check. for that.
Yeah.
You
Do you need
sit
proficiency,
understand the
or
concept?
can you roll anyway?
Yeah,
17.
you got anybody can make an Arcana check. But obviously, if
I
you're
mean, I
proficient-
don't have proficiency, but I rolled a
Yeah, but
21.
you're quite smart.
Yeah, I'll roll a 21. I don't know if that
Yeah,
gets me somewhere.
you understand the word, but you realize it's the way that Johan is talking about it. This is a solved problem. Like this is you understand the concept of creating a copy of someone, but the way that Johan is talking about it, there is a formula, there is a process to do this. Yeah.
Wait,
That
you
was
were,
like I
ma-
said.
you were mass produced?
I wouldn't say mass produced, but when you are like me, you make some backups in case that you die.
Again, I'm gonna ask the same question again. You didn't answer. I think you. Do you have memories prior of waking up here?
That's actually the case. Well, I guess I can trust you. Maybe you can help me piece together what happened here. Someone sabotaged me.
It wasn't
Clearly.
me.
No, you weren't even activated again.
That's why.
Oh, it was a long time ago then.
No, 11 months.
Ah,
I woke up here.
So what was the sabotage?
Well, maybe I don't know. I'm theorizing that maybe my soul didn't quite just connect with the body, and maybe some memories got lost in the process. I have all my knowledge. Actually, I was just getting it back, but you know the details.
Mara's going to take a seat, like she's going to like, what is happening? Like,
I'm gonna sit right beside you. Yeah.
I don't know. Is he? Wait, is he 11 year? Is he 11 months old?
yeah.
I'm
That is what
not
I'm getting
11
from
months
this.
old. I made this body
You literally
to
said you woke
resemble
up
my
11
33 years old.
What was Lena's Arcana check?
What?
You made one?
17.
17. You know of the concept of clone as a contingency, something archmages can do to cheat death or avoid death, where they can, yeah. So I don't think until this moment you had considered the philosophical implications of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do I know any examples of people who could do that at least in the Vale, in the Hammerfast area?
It's not really something that's done. There are very few powerful arcane practitioners in Hammerfast.
But they wouldn't
And the
really
ones
say,
that do,
really.
yeah, they're content with their 3-4 centuries of dwarven life, and then, yeah.
Okay,
Look,
Daniel, question. Because this is Jose, I'm like Siege, I'm confused.
Yeah.
The time is not adding up to me. This is the same.
timing
This is the same Johan that I met when he activated me for
Yes.
the time.
Yes. So,
So in total,
you're
it's-
trying to piece together. He activated you. within 6 months of waking up here in this cave.
Okay.
So you
Wait.
woke up, then you activated Siege.
Yeah.
Look,
Siege was not here. Siege was in Hammerfest.
let me explain.
No,
Yeah, but
You are not
All right.
understanding.
Yeah, this
A-
timeline
a
is
clone
please. Okay.
spell is a contingency. Some backup plan, you prepare a body of you at whatever stage of your age you want, and just store it just in case. When you are killed, your soul is just pulled into this new body, and you are alive again. Because, I mean, when you are me, death is just an inconvenience.
So you don't know who sabotaged you or killed you or whatever.
I don't know. I mean the spell. It should be sabotage, because I mean the memories are not quite there. The knowledge is.
Do you want to
memories
know?
maybe.
Okay. And I
Mara's like freaking out. Like,
I mean, it's obviously I was someone important. I could do this. Like,
Okay.
you can do this.
and
I don't think so.
I'm gonna. Can I? And I want to investigate the broken glass.
Sure.
I want to try to piece out if the glass that was broken was whole before it was broke. I don't know if it
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm gonna look back and say, if anyone can give me any assistance, like magical assistance with this, I don't think this is gonna be easy.
I
will try.
can
and
explain.
Do you need
What is
something
the
to be
question?
punched?
No, I just want to, and I'll tell you. I want you to explain, but I want to know if you were sabotaged. I want to know if you were sabotaged here or somewhere else. That's all I'm trying to figure out.
That's what I want to know now.
Exactly what I'm trying to find out. So
Yeah.
if
Are we
anyone
gonna
wants
look for-
can help me.
Sure, I'll help you. But before that, so you woke up here alone,
Yeah.
and you
The
didn't look
other,
for
the other pod
any,
is empty, right?
like
Correct.
How do you?
It's empty of. It's air inside
Yeah.
the container.
So how do you know you were sabotaged to begin with? Because it could have been perfectly something that I don't know. I know you think you're perfect, and you may very well be. I'll accept that because that's some high level shit. But there's always a possibility that it could have been wrong. So how do you know you were sabotaged to begin
Because
with?
the spell should work in the context that when I kill, I come back in this new body with all my memories ready to be launched out of this and continue my journey. But my memories didn't came, so clearly there should be an error on the spell. Something wrong happened.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know me, and the past self of me is my new me because the new spell maintains the personality, there shouldn't be any kind of mistakes. It can't. I don't make mistakes. So someone clearly jealous of me did something, maybe to the components. I wanted to. When I woke up, it was quite confusing and not very pleasant. Actually, I break that glass because I didn't know how to get out, and I was kind of drowning. But yeah, I left a bit confused and wandered some time on the wilderness before someone found me. And I started to piece together some stuff. So, before we leave the continent, and this is the laboratory where I woke up, maybe I could know what went wrong back then. Now that I have, well, a much deeper understanding on on the nature of the soul.
Do you?
Yeah. Probably my old me knew already this and just refreshing my memory. But yeah, I'm understanding now more about the nature of the soul, the permanence of the self. So maybe the bonding wasn't quite right.
So someone could have meddled with your stuff before you came here, or
Yeah,
before
yeah.
you were woken up here, and that
Before
would have
I-
been somewhere else.
Before I needed its body, it was just an empty cave. I probably came here, made the body, left it ready in case I just. And
Yeah, I know that it's a long shot, but can I discern with some sort of divine knowledge or something is if there's a piece of soul missing or essence?
Love it.
Something was lost?
I don't think you can tell if something was lost. You have interacted with Johan through your divine magic before. Johan has a complete soul. And in the same way that I think would probably be news to Siege, so does Siege. So, like, your prayers, your miracles work just as well on them as on any living creature that was born and grew up that is in the rest of your party. Johan, as you're explaining all this, with your eyes glowing from your detect magic, you've sort of pointed at the contraption, back at the group, and as you're shifting, suddenly you realize there's a patch of the wall that has an illusion on it. And the illusion is cloaked in some parts, so it wasn't glowing brightly to your spell, but as you were shifting back and forth, you rolled high enough on perception that you, like, so the rest of you see, like, Kildav, as you're trying to piece together the glass shards as a puzzle, and
Yeah.
Johan, there's a moment where you pause as you see on the opposite side of where the vats were, and one of them still is, there's a patch of about door-sized that is covered in an illusion.
that wasn't there before.
What do you mean? What was it?
So you guys, where you see where Johan is looking at, not exactly where his eyes are. A little beyond that, there's a small room. Like the cave continues, and there's a small room over there. But Johan is not looking. He's looking at rock of the cave.
Well, like I said, when I woke up, my memories were a bit fuzzy. I have the knowledge, I know things, but I didn't know how to use them. It's a difficult concept to explain. Like, do you have something that you just know?
Yes.
See, you can understand it.
Yes. When I woke up, I knew how to fight, how to talk, how to walk.
It's actually kind of like that.
Has anyone given you like a restoration type of spell?
I was thinking about the same thing. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have the lower version.
I have a minor one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough. But
I don't know what kind of restoration are you talking about. Is this some
mystical one.
witchcraft?
From the gods.
Not some herbal tea that you're gonna.
I lean it to kill. I was saying
That doesn't
maybe
work.
his previous party killed him because, his charming self.
By the way, Kildav is actually making a puzzle in the ground, and I'm like, and I nod and I say, yeah, and I'll continue working. Like I don't want to entertain the thought right now.
You want to get distracted? Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Like it was like no.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, Johan, you are a mid-warforged?
I'm not a warforged. I'm a person. This is just a a new body
you
that I make for
sure?
myself.
Sam pipes up and says, I think Siege is a person too.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
thinking about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Everyone here is a person, even you, Sam. And
Thank you.
what are you trying to instill some kind of existential dread on me, Mara? What is your problem? I'm clearly a person. This is just a new body. Anyway,
Yeah.
illusion.
And Gandalf looks up and says, "That is not a normal phrase.
It's not?
I know. Sorry, no. That's why we're asking questions." And I'll continue working on the question.
And I'm answering as a good as I can.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Don't.
I'm surprised how forthright I'm being with you, actually.
Wait.
Thank you for sharing.
So did we, before we separated for a little bit, did we detect before some sort of necromantic essence from Johan?
When you were adventuring in Harkin, there was no necromantic energy around you.
Okay, so he's not on there.
But
I
and
went
you've
to
literally
check
seen
that
it in process. Yeah. What you did do, you went into some elven catacombs that had been taken over by a skeletal necromancer. Take that spell book and left it with Johan during the 3 weeks of separation, and then he came back summoning skeleton creatures that could throw necrotic bolts.
Okay, so question. A little outside of the game, but I need this to understand. So in the game, in the fiction, technically Johan did change careers then. Was at some point an artificer and then he became a necromancer,
Yeah.
or was he always a necromancer?
No, he had an alchemical kit that he used to mix potions, and he had a suit of armor that he had created based on his study of Johan, and he used that throughout the adventure in Harkin. And then became the Wizard of Harkin with the green crystal tower that you're now remembering also had a weird illusion covering the entrance, but that illusion like maintained, like literally you crossed through it and it seemed like now you were in the illusion that was being reflected in that green crystal, so different in some way from this one. But yeah, so back then he would dress in the more plague doctory outfit with a heavy suit of armor that would throw lightning and have more contraptions. And then since Sam and the weeks of separation, he has changed his outlook. He still has some clear
I've been reconnecting
tinker
with
devices.
my true self. Getting accustomed to my abilities.
Why did you change? What? I remember when I first met you, you were interested and you wore an armor and something else. Why did you change? Was it something about this? Did you feel like attracted to this?
Not really. You are asking me to share a lot of things right now.
You literally opened myself last night.
You did ask.
Which has a very valid point.
Okay. Before that was curiosity. That's what can I say? Like when I woke up, I have knowledge on my head, and I searched for the place that everyone said that all the knowledge is here, and they took me to Hammerfast. And maybe I got that attention from some locals, and they say, "Oh, this guy talks about magic and talks a lot." Shipped him to Hammerfast, and I went there and I saw this guy, this gnome, right? That was talking about some revolutionary stuff that I got interested. I didn't know about that, and curiosity got me, and I started to study. Stumble into Siege, activated Siege, learn from Siege, and when I think that I learned enough, I started to ponder about, that I'm a bit fragile and concerned about my life, and maybe some ways to extend that. I have a body before that I'm using now, but I don't have a body now. Maybe I can do another one, but maybe I can achieve some more lasting ways of immortality. And I started studying the natures of the soul. For this. For that.
Necromantic.
Just for the soul thing. Because, like I said, my soul, when I was killed before, my soul came to this body. I need to understand that really well.
Then yeah, you tell me when I actually
Yeah.
do something with the glass.
You've completed enough that you can compare directly with the other container. Yeah, you think this is the container that was broken was as big, and you're watching close enough. You shine your blade to be able to see the etchings, and they match. Like the large glass shattered outward. You're feeling on the ground. He mentioned feeling like he was drowning. It's been too long. You can't see if there's traces of liquid. But yeah, these glass shards shattered outward and scattered all over the floor. But it seems that it was identical to the one that is sitting empty in the corner.
Okay. So I'll look back at Johan and said, I don't think it was here. I think this side of your spell was, at least in the physical side, I can't speak about, I understand some of what you speak when you speak about magic, but it's not something that I have trained on. What I can tell you is this is you broke it, as you told it, from the inside, and it was at least the same as that. If you feel that is a completed vessel, then this was a completed vessel.
Yeah, but there are ways. Maybe the arcane array.
I'm answering part of the question. I'm not saying there was no tampering. I'm just saying that there's no physical tampering of the glass that I can see. Maybe if we stay here a week and actually mend the whole thing, we could definitely say no. But with this, and I'll show, and Johan, you can see on the ground what I actually made again. With this, there's nothing here that says anything different from what you told us.
And Sam pipes up. If someone was sabotaging you here, why would they let you wake up?
That's actually
Maybe they're
very intelligent.
Some minor character in my story. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe.
So Johan, you searched this whole place, right?
Not quite. Like I said, I left in a bit of a rush.
Then I'm let me try, and I'll start actually looking at
Check that.
the whole.
And I'm going to point to the illusion.
I'll say I'll go there.
Guidance.
Kelda, you're looking around. There is one more room that is visible to you, even in the dim light of your sources. And Johan points you at a bare section of wall, but you make your way and feel around the edges, and there's a moment where your hand sinks in, and then you touch what feels like a wooden shelf. And as the rest of you see that happen, the rock wall fades, and you are looking at a cut alcove in the rock, and there is a simple piece of wooden furniture hold with basically like two spaces, like one shelf, wide enough that there are two medium-sized chests. So one down below, and then the other above Keldav's head height.
What size is it?
So
Like a
It's medium-sized.
person?
No,
Like a
it's not big enough. Well, I mean, a halfling
yes.
could fit inside the chest. Yes.
Okay, I was thinking that where there are more spare bodies that are like lying in that
Yeah.
shelf.
That's what I want to do. I'm surprised
I'll look
that I just have one body.
Yeah.
Maybe I should try to unalive myself to see if I pop up in
No,
a different
just
body.
wait, don't, not right now. Just, I'll look back at Johan and said, do you want me to check?
Yeah, sure. I didn't see that before, and maybe it's my stuff. Like,
Maybe.
So
I'll look for traps before I
sure.
actually try to open.
You're checking carefully. These are solid wooden chests with metal bands on them. You're checking them side to side, and even in this recessed shelf, you see there is some ornamentation on the sides, or the shorter sides. You're looking at one, and you see what looks like a diamond shape, and it's a stylized dragon. So the wings sort of making the sides of the diamond covering most of the body, and then the head protruding to be the top, and the tail on the ground. And
like this,
yes,
basically, like with it. Okay.
and you see distinctive horns, and there's some color that is reflected, and this is a seal of a red dragon. And you move around and shift to the other side, and there's on that side a horizontal banner that is painted green, and there's these 3 red streaks on it, and you're looking at them, and they look like blades of grass, maybe. So a red field and then 3 slightly diagonal streaks. You're like, is that? And then you look and think, the dragon, maybe they're not blades of grass, maybe they're claw marks, but they don't cross the entire banner. It's about 3/4 of the way. So from the bottom of the banner, slight diagonal reaching up. I'm like, yeah. And you look at you lift your rapier up to illuminate the other chest, same markings. They're not beyond those 2. There's not much ornamentation, but you do see where normally you would expect a heavy lock. There is a brass plaque, and at first glance they seemed very similar, but then you see the top one has a stylized E, and the lower one has a stylized L. And they're curly enough and ornate enough that it wasn't immediately evident that they were different. But you're looking at them, yeah, this one has 3 horizontal things of an E, and the other just the one lower one of the L.
So, top E.
Top is E, bottom is
okay.
L.
Okay. When I check for traps, do I like see any mechanisms that would trigger?
There's
something
no-
happen?
There's no there's no place to put in a key.
Okay.
And as you're looking around, you realize the lower one, marked with the L, is open. Like there is a small gap on the lid compared to the E1 above you.
So I'll put the rapier like peeking inside, not trying to move anything, just lighting it. If I have,
Yeah, you pay very close attention. There's no filament holding in place. There's nothing that would prevent you from opening the chest. So
Okay.
maybe there's something arcane, but behind you, Johan's eyes are still glowing with detect magic. Beyond
yeah,
the
I'll-
illusion that was covering this, there doesn't seem to be any protection on the L1. The E1, there's no clear way for
Yeah.
you to open it.
I'll tell Johan, just come here. I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe this is weird. There is possibility that this is for 2 different people.
This is my lab. What do you mean?
Because there are 2 vats. I know there was just one body. There are 2 vats, and these are 2 coffers. One, the one here looks. You can see an E here, and then this one has an L on it. There is nothing here that actually you don't know if this is just your lab. Let's open this. This one's open. We can just open it, and I'll open it. If you stop me, I'll stop.
Do I recognize the dragon and the banner symbol?
Make a history check.
That's-
This is a question for the DM. Would it be even possible for me to do a history check, or no?
You could make what would be for generic dragon. Make a nature check for
History
Alright.
and 11 plus 9, 20.
20.
Fuck that. That's a 1.
Okay, so you know there are multiple red dragons, and they tend to have the same
good.
shape.
Okay.
Johan, you're thinking history of Hammerfest. Before the Nentir Vale was settled by the Nerathi Empire, there were some humans living there, but basically it was dragons that were the apex predator in the area. The only cultures that had some survival were because they were pledging service. So there were some, like way up here in the Winterbowl Forest, there were white dragons, and they had some humans that they tolerated their presence. Beyond that, it tended to be quite small and more nomadic groups of people that moved around, or the elves that took refuge in their forests. The Hammerfest was created in part for the Dwarven kingdoms to help drive these dragons away. Like, one of the and you know that Falkrist was created in its place because one of the ancestors of the Lord Warden fought a dragon, and in some legends killed them, in some legends just drove them off. But that was a big enough feat that the emperor at the time granted them dominion and responsibility over the entire valley. And so there were probably a half dozen notable red dragons in the Dawnforge Mountains, and they lusted after the wealth of the Dwarven kingdoms, and when Hammerfest was established above ground, it became a place of many conflicts. Some of the classic siege ballista that are in Hammerfest were created to bring down dragons. Some of the most powerful wards and enchantments were set at the time. And you're looking at this dragon. It doesn't match any of the famous ones. Like the most famous one, Calastrix, had a whole cult of worshippers, Dragonborn, that tried to bring down Hammerfest. There's legends that Calastrix was not defeated but sealed away. But the way that Calastrix is depicted is with a much longer, sinuous neck and narrower wings. Like this one is like almost all wings and chest, and you can't really see much of the arms covered as they are, but it's a much shorter, stouter neck. Like either it's a terrible likeness, which is weird because it's good workmanship, or it's a different dragon that you don't know about. And it's at least an adult.
On the banner, nothing.
The banner, green with red stripes. I mean, yeah, no, could be lots of things. It's not distinctive enough.
Lina, Siege, before we open this, Siege, you were before in the Empire times, and before this whole thing set it up. And Lina, I think you are smart and you work for the Lord Gil. Do you recognize some of this?
Could
Do
I
we?
possibly think about the banner, really? Because that I think would give me a little bit more recognition than a decoration.
So you can gather that it's not from the Nerathi Empire. It's not the style. The style in the Empire was heraldic. It was very defined. It would be lions, horses. You would have these kinds of just simple fields of one color and then symbols placed on top or patterns. But the slightly tilted 3 stripes is too both too simple and too asymmetrical to take place.
Are
So
they
it's
the strikes? Are they the same? Are they a material that is also integrated in the banner, or does it look like it's something
paint.
that is it's paint over?
Yeah, correct. So
Okay.
this side of the chest has a wide green stripe, and then on that stripe there's these 3 diagonal red that they taper to a point. So that's why the first instinct was, they look like the shape of a blade of grass. But since you're not seeing the end, it could be that if they taper on both sides, it could be sort of a classic claw mark. But the edges aren't jagged. So it's the fact that it's 3 of them makes you think, oh, it could be claws. But it's not, they're not sort of the jagged edges that would sort of a classical, like a tiger slash or something.
This didn't sound like any of the houses
No, it's
shields.
no. It also doesn't seem familiar to you. See, you were familiar with devices, but it tended to be focused on either a representative animal, could be a color. So yeah, the green or the red, but it would be an animal associated with that, or it could be more abstract, like geometric shapes. So you would see a pattern of triangles of different colors
An
that
hexagon.
was meant to represent something.
This is not really from here. Johan, would you mind if I take a sketch of this?
Go ahead.
All right,
Make it
I'll
cool.
just. No,
Can
I
I
need to
make-
do. I need to do it exactly how it is. Give me a second.
You, Mara, you were going to say something.
I don't know because I went away. But did anyone make a history check of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johan made a history check about the dragon, and there were many dragons in these mountains, but this specific one doesn't match any of the famous ones.
And
Kelda,
how-
you're looking at it. Green with red stripes. The only thing that makes maybe a bit of sense to you is like it's a gang identification. Like you
Yeah.
could make a green sash and wear it around the arm or over the head. And
Actually,
so you would just
this is-
need green
yeah.
fabric and then paint the stripes on it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask something about. I thought about. Okay, I don't know if Kelda would think about this, so I'm trying not to meta game. But
Yeah.
what I was thinking is, like an order off. I know Kelda understands that there are bandits, but there are also like orders, like the
Yeah.
order of something. So what I was trying to piece together is, if this was something for more than one person, and instead of thinking about of like, yeah, this is just Johan's thing, it's a collective thing. Would I like, would it make sense that even the dragon is symbolic, is like
Sure.
the order of the dragon, something like along those lines?
Sure. The color would make you think probably more sort of evil or greed based, but you
Yeah.
definitely orders both of arcane practitioners and martial, like could be mercenaries, could have taken a dragon either directly as a patron or as inspiration
Okay.
for their order. It's the banner,
and both.
the simplicity of the pattern that made you
Yeah.
remember, like, this isn't something that the Delian Knights would have made. This is something that the river rats of Falkrist that live in
Yeah,
Lowtown, that's something that they would make.
So the question is, are the both the same on the sides?
Yeah,
Both
both
have the
have the
banners?
dragon on one end of the
Okay.
chest and the green with the red stripes on the other.
So
Okay.
are we opening the chest or not?
By the way, Johan,
love it.
before we
open
open that, I'll share this as a thought. Like, I'll ask. I know you don't have any memories, but do you know of any organizations that could have this symbolism? Because I like Keldev is not even gonna try to do it. Like Diego's not gonna try to do a history check for Keldev for that, because I know he wouldn't know that.
Do I, Daniel?
I mean, you know there are dragon cults from lowly kobolds that are trying to hatch a single egg to, you know, armies of hobgoblins that follow a great draconic overlord. But
No, I mean, anything comes to mind, but like I said, the personality should be the same as I had before. I'm just missing the memories.
Okay.
So, I think maybe I could have joined maybe either a gang or a cult in pursuit of something that interests.
I have another question before we go down that avenue. You said that the spell is supposed to take the soul and put it in this new body, right?
Yeah.
And that is a very powerful spell,
Yeah.
which you do not have access to right now.
I don't have the components to make a body, and maybe I'm in need of some other stuff. So yeah, it's not available to me right now.
So the process failed somehow.
Yeah,
There's
maybe
something missing.
maybe the pod, maybe the body, maybe my soul, maybe whatever kills me was really nasty. Like I was fighting a god or something, and he says, "Fuck you" in particular, and my soul. I don't know.
That was exactly what I was pointing to. You should think more about the gods and less about your magic. And I look towards Mara, like, you know, like she's totally like, yeah.
And what's the
By the
deal?
way,
Like, ask, hey, do you know if my soul was kind of like punched up before throwing it to the new body? Like, gods can do that? That's really petty.
Or a follower, a very powerful follower of a god could do that.
No, I prefer the god thing.
Johan, two questions. Question one: what do you want to accomplish here?
I want to get the motherfucker that crossed me first.
We can help
Then
with that.
I want to regain the knowledge that I lost here so I can pursue my new objective of making a more perfect body.
Question
Because
So
I
number,
let's
understand
open the
the-
chest.
question number two: why didn't you tell me before this?
You never ask. You
I
all
told
assume
you
that I was weird
everything.
and do something.
Yeah.
But
No, by the way, that is a lie. Because we did ask. You just didn't answer.
how do I bring up? Yeah, I'm actually really awesome, and I died.
By the way, that is exactly the same story that he has, and I'll point to Siege. So no, that is just exactly how you say it.
You wouldn't believe me.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to film now,
fuck are you-
Johan. Johan now
Sam
is
goes, "I
trusting us
believe you."
to tell us this.
No. I'm just saying that
Yeah,
he
this
just
is Mara,
lied.
and I'm going to
The only thing-
hide behind
No, but-
Mara.
Yeah. By the way, I am not saying anything wrong. I'm just saying he just lied. He just said that we didn't ask, and that is a fucking lie. We did ask.
He's
What,
Johan.
what?
He lies all the time, but now he's trusting us.
That is
We-
why am I correcting
A
him?
huge secret.
All right. I didn't trust you before.
That's okay.
is-
That's okay.
Two high int characters and one high wisdom character in between.
I
In the
didn't
meantime,
trust-
Lina's just
I
sketching, not making
I
a
didn't
deal out
trust
of
you
it.
before. Like I said, I suspect
okay,
that someone crossed me, and I don't know how to share this.
Johan, you
It's
say
okay.
Johan, you say that you didn't trust you before. The eyes of Siege turned blue. I'm going to go back. I'm leaving.
See, I said before, I trust you now. I told you my story.
Okay.
I can share my dome tonight if you want.
Fuck you.
And I'll look at Mara and I'll ask, do you go or do I go?
I'm interested in the chest.
I
so-
know, but I
Why did you say that is
Don't
fine
worry,
right away?
don't worry. I'll go. I'll go. I'll
Thanks,
go.
cool friend.
I'm saying while I'm chasing Siege like to the end of the lab, and if he's coming back, I'm going to the chest.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm just. I need a little
Alright.
space.
He's gonna get better.
Or
So
you're
you pull
gonna
out
be
the L chest out from the
Yeah.
shelf so that you can actually open it. Carefully, you lift it up. It seems to contain ordinary clothes. You see a long brown coat. There's a slightly off-white linen shirt. There's some nondescript dark brown pants, some good quality boots. You see what seems to be an herbalism kit. There's a mortar and pestle. There are multiple pouches. There's some dried herbs in it. It seems decently stocked. There's a couple more bags. You realize a decent amount of funds, like there's 50 gold pieces that would have been quite useful if you had found this earlier. There's also another one, a similar bag of the gold that you lift up, and you hear clanking of, well, you hear basically like,
Guys,
yeah, and you open it up, and there's these amethyst, like purple gemstones that are shaped into polyhedrals, and the symbols you don't understand. It's not infernal, it's not common, it's not dwarven. So yeah,
Is it celestial?
it is not.
And it's not. Just double checking because I want to.
Yeah, it's not goblin or orc.
No halfling.
No,
Dwarven?
it is not.
And it's not celestial. It's not Sylvan.
It is
No.
like
Okay,
arcane
all good.
shit.
You're looking, but it's not the classic runes that you use. There's similarities to the symbols, but they're more. They're sort of bendy and swirly. Make an Arcana check, and basically, yeah, you'll be
Can
able
I
to
assist?
omit things. Can you assist? You're not trained. Maybe
That's what I'm
Lena,
asking.
Lena has
Something?
proficiency in Arcana.
Yeah, but she is too busy and she doesn't care about
Sure.
Johan shit anyway.
Can Sam assist?
Sure. Sam will assist you as he
Actually,
looks
yeah.
at
If
it.
I notice
Interesting.
Johan expecting this, I give him guidance so that he have an extra.
Keldav,
Mara's
as you're
like
looking
picking
at the
above
other
the
things
shoulder,
in
like,
the bag,
what is it?
you're shifting around the clothes, and there's something odd about the coat. It's fairly simple, like dark brown, the natural color of the material. But as you're shifting it, you get a glimpse of the lining, and it's a rich, like beige cream color. And that's like, what? And you
That's
open
weird.
it up, and there's a like maybe 2-inch wide gap of this rich beige color, and it's a much more luxurious material. And then the rest
like
of the
silk?
inside, basically it's silk, and then the rest is a rich ochre color, like a more dark orange yellow. And you're looking at it, and you look back at the outside. No, the brown is the outside of the coat. There's a simple like cloth cinch that you can use to tie it and hold it shut. And then you look at the inside, and Lena, you're looking at it as you're sort of glancing at things as they come out. Lena, you recognize this as a double-sided coat. This is the sort of thing people you do in the theater for a quick change, where you put one layer and then you go backstage and you take it off and you flip it inside out and you put it back on and suddenly now you're a different character. And Keldev, you're looking at what? Why would you? Like, you're looking back at the vats. Really powerful magic. Simple illusion magic could give you a really nice outfit. And then you're thinking like, well, okay, so if this wasn't for a powerful arcane practitioner, a well-trained thief or a spy, an operative, they could create something much better with their disguise abilities. So like this is, you're looking at both sides. This isn't to infiltrate a secure location. Like this kind of quick change, it would allow you to pass without notice in a crowd, basically.
Like
Nina,
when someone pickpockets someone and has to change rap really fast,
more like
their
more like
outfit.
you put the brown when you're like traveling along the road to look as a common traveler.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get into the nicer part of town, you shift it around. And Lena, you look at the off-white shirt with some prestidigitation, some basic cantrips to smooth it out and make it clearer. That could look like a noble's shirt. And the boots don't have the ornamentation that a noble would normally wear, but they're good enough quality that if you flipped the coat over to the rich ochre, and as you're moving it, you realize the band of beige, you can actually fold it back up to become the inside of the nobleman's coat, and it changes the cut. And now when people look at the inside of the nobleman, they don't see the brown. They see just that strip of silk. And so someone could appear as a traveler on the road, and then if they want to get into a nicer part of town, maybe a nice accommodation, they could flip this around. Or if someone only has a description, they could shift this around and pass unnoticed. But it's like the reason they did it in theater is because you need the speed to already have your wardrobe when you come backstage to shift, and also it saves on storage space. Like if a theater is successful enough to have more than a few productions going, they accumulate chests and chests of wardrobe. So the fact that you can have one outfit be both things is really useful. And like maybe that's the answer. Like there's only one chest marked L. There's a thread, like a bare work table over there with very simple tools that could be purchased at most any town with a decent sized smithy. Like this is stuff that was shipped from a long way away. Like it probably in whatever the vats and containers came with. So like they could afford one carry-on bag, one change of clothing, and so it was a versatile one.
Yeah.
What's the tier?
Is it Johan size?
I mean, vaguely, yeah. It's for a medium, like lanky creature.
Can I put because of the cut of the coat, the fancy side out would have been more tailored for the person. So if I put the fancy part out, does it fit the frame? I know Johan is a bit hunched and a bit like he's bigger than he shows, but would it fit him being like straight up?
So for that we need Johan's cooperation. Johan, what was your Arcana check?
My Arcana was 7 plus 9 plus 3. 7 plus 9.
19?
19, I think.
You're looking at it.
Pretty poorly.
Even if you don't know all of the mundane languages of this world, you've seen them in writing. What you're holding in your hands is not of this world. And of the extraplanar ones you know, it's not one of those either.
And it's not one of the ones I know.
Yeah. So if this is a language, it's a very rare language, and you can discard some of the worst ones and some of the best ones.
So, so far, gang, cult, alien. Beef?
Alien, yeah.
Troop? I don't know.
So
Yeah, I
You're
could.
basically Mollymock, dude. That's it.
you're looking at these dice,
Yeah.
and now Kildav has sort of flipped over the coat and is like holding it up to you. Do you put it on?
Yeah, I put it on. Like,
It wasn't a question. You're going. I need
Oh,
you
yeah.
to put this on. like, fuck you. This is the question.
the
let's see if I'm ill. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm.
So you put it on over your vest. You have to smooth out your shirt to cover your wrists. You put the coat on, and it fits. It's a little wider at the belly, but the width of the shoulders fits fine. The length of the arms fits fine. Yeah, so like it's not made to hang very tight, and if it did, it's for someone with a slightly thicker torso than you, but bone structure wise, it fits you. And the length reaches to the point where it reaches almost your ankles. So if you were wearing the outfit that was in the chest, the nondescript pants would be completely covered by this coat. And only some of the shirt would be showing. Like, with the outfit you're wearing, there's some of your red shirt showing, but most of your vest is covered by your coat.
So if Johan had a little more pounds, he will fit very well in the suit.
Yeah. Or was wearing more layers.
Yeah.
DM.
That was
did I
Jose
lose
asking
weight
since she's not there.
since I woke up.
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't.
I mean,
something like-
you've always been, from what you remember, you've always been quite lanky and sort of stretched. But you also missed lots of meals in your research and in your lab in Hammerfast.
Johan, a question, because I was thinking about this. If there are 2 vats and 2 chests, and just one of them is open, and this thing fits you, could it be that the chests open when the actual spell triggers?
That logic sounds, but the other vat is empty. It doesn't have a body, a replacement.
I know.
body in there.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, this is. I know we don't have enough information to definitively say this, but if we imagine that this is a 2-person setup, okay? One didn't have the bodies installed yet. One did. Your chest, so this chest, if we assume this is your chest, opened the moment the spell triggered. That thing is not open because that never triggered.
But the
yeah.
letter of your name doesn't match up.
What?
I mean,
It doesn't-
when you
that's
woke
not
up,
his name.
you knew that you were Johan, or did you make up that name also?
It's a pretty name.
You're not Johan.
What is I'm supposed to do?
No, he's Johan. Come on.
I mean, that's not your name. You made
No.
it up. I mean, like, I
it's
don't
a
know.
common name on these places.
Okay,
I just made it up.
that is not your given name. That's what Mara's saying,
Yeah.
right?
When you
You
woke
gave
up,
yourself that name.
I could be L. I could be L. Maybe maybe I'm E. But
We don't know. We don't know.
I know that with magic you can set up some kind of trigger like that.
Okay.
I think I can make that up right now. I think.
Okay.
Let's
So-
think of it. Let's see
Can-
what's in E.
Can you try to help me bring the chest down? I'll look at everyone else because
yeah,
basically
sure.
All right, sure.
Let's cut to Siege and Gufren, as there's been about 15 minutes of chat back in the cave.
So basically, I'm going to let Siege get away a little bit and look at him like from afar, and I'm gonna look at his eyes and see what color are they,
Bro,
and are they still blue like all the time?
constant blue for a while.
What are you doing?
Just looking, standing up,
Did you go all the way
Siege-
outside to
No.
where the pits are? Or
No, I only walk some paces away of the group just to have a little time to sing. And Siege for this time when he's like this is thinking. It's just thinking.
I'm going to. Well, I'm not really stealthy, so I'm gonna make some noise as I approach, and I say, "Hi, are you okay, Siege?"
I'm not entirely sure. I just changed the accent. I just curious.
It's okay,
Sorry.
don't worry.
I'm not entirely.
like-
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it's like I don't know him, but I know him, and I trust him, but he didn't trust us, but now he does. This is so confusing.
People are confusing, and when you love someone, that is the problem. That they can hurt you because it's like you don't have any armor to them.
Love?
Yes, they caring for someone. I think I would describe the way you behave around Johan and Keldav and Mara as love. There are many kinds of love. There are friendships, there is family, there is romantic love. but-
Companionship?
Yes, that's another one. Sure.
It feel weird. It feel weird. It's like maybe this is why Johan started to reject me, because
you
he
feel
didn't
like-
he didn't trust me.
Have you ever seen a hedgehog?
A what?
A hedgehog? Those animals that have like little like pointy things on their butts?
I'm going to say yes, but okay, yes.
So, have you ever tried to pet a hedgehog? Like try to like pet them, like give them some rubs or something?
I think the only thing I tried to pet is el gato.
Yeah. So it's sort of similar. Imagine when you try to do it, it hurts you because it's pointy and sharp. But I don't think the hedgehog is really, or el gato, is really trying to hurt you. It's just that that's the way they are. They're spiky. So you touch them, you get close to them, and you get hurt. And that doesn't mean that they cannot be taught or given more training. People, I mean, now. You can tell them how you feel, and if they care for you, they're going to listen to you and they're going to try to put some pillows on the sharp parts of themselves.
So I need to get more pillows to talk with Johan?
That is a good way of looking at it. Perhaps I think you need a good conversation with Johan. Like, you need to tell him what you need of him. And then you will know if he is open to give it to you or not. And then you'll be able to know how close you can get to him without getting hurt. Or if you do get hurt, you know in advance why it is.
I like that he is trying to be more truthful. with us?
Yes, he is.
I mean, if he's sharing this, maybe it's for something, or maybe it's just because it's Johan.
I think that you never really know people, like completely. You just know sides of them, parts of them. So in that sense, I think it is a new side to Johan.
I kinda like this side of Johan, even that I
like it
feel
too.
that is not a really good person. I again, this is confusing.
I don't really know if there are good people or bad people in the world.
You
as
are.
such. I try to do the right thing, which is different. But I fail. I failed a lot. And I can still fail. That's why I have to keep myself in check.
But you want.
Oh, but that is because I think it's valuable and it's good. But I think Johan wants to do good things as well. If not, he wouldn't be helping people. Yes, he's a little selfish and has his own means and goals, but he's helping people. He helped us to defeat the rivers of Harken.
Johan want to do good at his own way. That's good.
I think that is a very good way of looking at it. Yes, I would agree.
In that case, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to help him.
I think that it's a very good thing.
Thanks, Gufran.
You're welcome.
So, do you stay outside the main chamber, or do you?
Maybe after 10 seconds of awkwardness, we'll say like we should walk back.
Oh yes, here we go back inside, and Gufran's gonna be like the first one. So.
You go back inside?
That reminds me the time that both of us were. Hey, what was the signal for the door? I can't remember.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember, like back in Harken, like what was the signal that we were supposed to be listening to? Yes.
You step back into the chamber, and illuminated by Lina's lantern and Keldav's sword, you see Johan in a very different style, a rich ochre coat that makes the difference with his pale skin even more remarkable. As he's just sort of standing and stretching to show that the arms fit fine.
A bit big on the belly. Why don't we try the E test? Maybe I'm E.
Yeah, and when Keldav sees Siege and Gufran getting in, I said, "Perfect, you two. We need help.
What do you need? Oh,
we need to We
Yeah.
need
So
to move
you
that
lift.
back here."
Yeah, the chest is fairly heavy, but most of the weight is the wood and metal reinforcement. For even one of you, Siege or Gufran, it would not be a great burden. And you bring it back down. And again, it seems evident that the chest itself is not that remarkable. I mean, it has the dragon seal and the banner on the side, but the chest itself is just sturdy wood and steel bands to reinforce it. The strange thing is that there is no lock. Where the lock would be is this brass plaque with the letter. I think, yeah, if probably detect magic would have faded, but you could have cast it again as you were going. This becomes clear that there's some manner of arcane lock on this chest.
Knock.
you was muted, Alejandro.
No, I just said it really.
No.
in a whisper that I don't have
Yeah.
knock the spell.
I have fist.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think that's a good idea. If there's an arcane lock as a
At the very least, what that does, it magically reinforces the entire chest. So what would be already a sturdy chest is extremely resilient with the arcane lock.
But it can be.
Yeah,
It
I
can
know
be-
your chance to break things. You're pretty good at it.
Thanks.
I trust that you can break my previous work. Don't worry, I don't have any attachment to it.
Knock is not the only way to get rid of an arcane lock.
I don't have dispel magic either.
Well,
I'm willing to
It-
offer
it-
that.
it wasn't in
Gubren's
my
willing to-
books.
Yeah, Gubren is willing to offer that if someone tries to open it up, she can connect to that someone and give them like resistance to damage, and she's gonna take the damage instead. I have warding bond, which I can use in this case. I'm gonna throw it in.
Can I use identify actually on the chest?
sure. As you, this isn't a unique magical item, but it is a linked chest. So it is protected by arcane lock, and the seal itself is the brass plaque, and you see that it's linked to the contraption of the vat that is empty. And the problem is, if you could energize that contraption, this would open. But it would take much less energy to dispel the arcane lock than to activate that contraption. Like, that is an 8th level spell slot. You could, if you had dispel magic, it would be a 3, and you could open this. Like,
All right,
this chest is like a side effect of the big thing. It's like
Yeah,
a
that-
little added extra.
You were right. Yeah, enjoy it.
Come on, you always tell that I am dumb. Just having this moment is I didn't say anything. I just
Enjoy it. You can have it.
so good.
You're doing a good job.
Yay.
Yeah, the chest is connected with the bat. So there was a second person. Who was he?
Wasn't you?
A friend? No, it seems I was L.
But if the
L?
Yeah, the other chest, and I point to the second chest that has the.
Was open and DM. Can I, knowing this, can I see if the bottom of the chest is as deep as the floor? If there isn't a second.
like a secret
Yeah.
container.
Yeah.
You examine the open chest that you have, and there is no
Okay.
false bottom, or you look at the top of the chest and it lies basically flat. There's not much space for anything to be there. Again, like, the chest seems fairly ordinary beyond the decoration on the sides, which, like, you think was added on. Like, the seal could be riveted into place on the. In fact, yeah, I think you would see as you're feeling the sides of the chest, you feel the rivets that secure the dragon seal there, and the green banner is painted on the wood of the chest. So you think, yeah, those are indicators that this chest belongs to a group, maybe 2 groups, maybe it's going from one group to the other group. You need more data point to figure out, like, what are those?
Yeah.
But the chest itself seems fairly ordinary. The thing that is remarkable is the seal. And yeah, if the vat is linked to it, maybe it's possible that it does, like, whoever E is might be able to just, like, open it by, like, touching it. Like, it might have a biometric.
That's what he was trying to say. That, like, the actual presence of Johan was the thing that maybe opened the thing. Shit.
I don't know. Does it seem worthwhile to open though?
There is one more small room that you haven't gone to.
I think I have a way to open it actually, but I don't have a way to open it.
I will assume that
I'll look at.
anyone will tell Sitch about this stuff about the names, because I wasn't there when you
Yeah,
saw about
actually.
Yeah.
So we are
Absolutely.
suspecting that these two tests are owned for two different people, and the bats were for two different people. It seems that the person on the second bat maybe or never was installed, or maybe they have a nicer awakening. Maybe they didn't. Actually, I'm going to check the other bat. Does it have a way to open it without breaking the glass? Because that sounds pretty extreme.
Yeah, you're looking at it, and part of the process of activating the lower section, the metal and brass, like the steel and brass lower base, you're looking like straight at it through the glass. That is what fills the glass. Like the seed that you know is required to begin the process is inserted into the metal base, and then the fluid that you were in is conjured and fills up the glass container. Like, you don't think there is a way for the glass to survive. I mean, like, once there's a body there and awake and conscious, there's no way for that body to get out without breaking the glass. I mean, possibly if the body is like able to teleport, they might be able to teleport away. You're looking at the jar to see if there are wards to prevent that kind of teleportation, and you're not finding them. So unless some additional effects are activated when it's energized, it seems that you would be able to teleport out. But you would have been. You had some magical abilities already when you awoke. You were in no state to cast even a cantrip. Like, it took hours before you were able to, like, manifest a tiny candle-sized flame. So yeah,
He wasn't, well, placed there. It seems I had some kind of companion. Maybe a friend. Maybe a family. A brother, a sister. Maybe a
Maybe
lover.
a saboteur.
Do I have a family? Maybe a sub. Do you think that is a...
I mean, we don't know. We can't rule that out.
Why he wasn't placed?
Into that.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Maybe you had your own unit.
I don't think I'm that of a people person.
No, but this says otherwise, and I point to the banner.
Maybe I was. I think I have a way to dispel the magic, but I need the blood of someone that we murdered like yesterday at most.
You have.
Yeah, you have some troll blood.
Yeah.
Does that count for summon greater demon?
I don't think it does.
Yeah, it's a humanoid.
Oh, okay. I look at Lena and I say, I don't understand the question. When you say is it worth it? In what way?
I mean, do you want to open it? Like, do you want to know what's inside?
Yeah, we okay.
Like, what
So,
for?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I am more interested in the mystery than Johan, and I'm not.
Fair.
This is. I mean, I look at Johan and then I look at him like you're the same way, like
Fair.
kindred spirits. I do care about him. I'm not trying to say that, but I don't understand, and that fucking bugs me.
You love Johan?
I want to say love. I said care. Why the?
Yeah, very important
Don't be-
distinction.
Don't be that weird.
Sam pipes up to say, "We could carry the chest until tomorrow, and dispel it then."
Yeah, but that's. Thank you. Yeah, but that's why I want to know, because I really don't like knowing. No, sorry, I really don't like not knowing.
Like not knowing, yeah.
I mean, if we want to do this, at least we could have. I don't know. What occurs to me is, I could try to open it with. I could make another Dwayne and put him inside the hut, and then, if it explodes in there, it explodes in there.
Huh.
Yeah.
There are options.
Like, that could be an option, but
Yeah.
do we? Because I had another plan for that.
For Dwayne?
No, actually, for you. For you, Siege. But we'll talk about it.
Look,
Yeah.
I think that there is another room we can check, and to be fair, I think we are gonna find another set of clothes. So, really, what is behind E's chest is, well, trying to piece together the identity of E.
Wouldn't
Not-
you?
I
Not
only-
necessarily.
And
What do you think is another set of clothes of me?
No, I'm saying that if we have another point of comparison, we could learn more about you.
Also, if, like, I'm thinking, what would I do? If I did something like this, I would definitely leave a record. Like, I would leave, like, a piece of parchment with instructions and, things to remember.
Yeah. I thought that
You
too,
haven't found
actually,
anything like that?
when I woke up. But then I think to myself, well, if the spells works right, you don't need the journal. And I think that was the problem with previous me. And I concur, if the spells works, the spells worked. But I was sabotaged. Someone wanted my downfall. Maybe, I don't know, some enemy.
Maybe Steve.
Steve.
Steve, really? Do you think that this is all related to Steve?
Not really. I just wanted to say the name.
Fucking random demon on some tower.
And I look at Lena and say, I'm sorry. Steve was a tower, a demon in a tower that we had to release.
he was a Glabretsu.
That.
He was a
Yeah.
demon and his name was Steve.
No, that's
No.
not his real
Demon
name.
doesn't like
mean-
when you know their true name. And we have a whole book
That's
with
Steve.
demons'
Steve.
names.
Steve.
I mean, I just find it funny. Anyway, let's go.
It's true.
We can talk about Steve later.
It's the last threatening name ever.
Oh, wait,
For a very,
Johan,
very asshole.
Johan, just a question because we said we could carry the coffer. Do you think that the magic would prevent us from moving this out? Like the linking magic between the vat and the chest?
the link
No.
should maintain.
Okay, all good.
Yeah. If there is a danger to moving this chest, it's that if somebody knows this chest, someone can scry on this chest.
Okay.
But it's been here for at least 11 months, and it would be one day moving with you.
Looking at the walls, do they look like anti-scrying material?
Nope. There's nothing beyond the metal base of the vat. Like, there's no decorations, there's no runes marked. Johan, to you, the light sources of your allies are all working perfectly. The rest of you, it has been a creepy experience where as you're speaking and having these conversations, your voices echo strangely off the walls. It's disconcerting. And it's creepy in this cave.
Echo.
Like there is
echo.
an odd, echo and a feeling like on the back of your spine, and it's it's unpleasant to be here. For you, Johan, it's a cave. It's a normal cave. There's no signs of animals.
Dank cave. Let's go.
Worst case,
Okay.
worst case scenario, we can return the chest tomorrow.
I don't think we are gonna be by this sound tomorrow. I'm really want to get to another continent to see
Me
what's
too.
the deal with your brothers. Like I said, a body like yours, it's one of my options.
But not mine.
I want to want one better. Of course, I'm gonna do something better.
Red eyes, white eyes. Okay.
Are you taking this herbalism kit, Johan?
Do you want it? I have one with me now.
I want to experiment with the elixirs I'm doing, and I don't have that.
Yeah, you can take it. If you need to
Thanks.
learn, I can teach you.
No, I'll actually ask for help.
We have one more room before.
Yeah, it's a small room at the back. The floor has a gentle slope up, and as you're looking around, it's easier for you, Johan, because the shadows don't cover as much. You see there is a tiny opening up in the ceiling, and you see there's some ventilation coming from there. And if this cave was made by water flowing through for years and years, probably it was coming from there. Like it was streaming through there, and it wore down whatever kind of more a rock that was more susceptible to erosion until it carved out this cave. And then at some point the water source shifted and moved, and now there isn't any in here. In this room, there is a small table, smaller than the work table in the other chamber. And what you see on that table is 2 large glass jars with cork stoppers. And realize, like, if someone was making larger alchemical processes, these kinds of things would be useful for decanting, for fermenting. And it's the sort of jars that are 5 to 15 liters, that are too big to carry around in a sort of traveling alchemy kit. Basically, if you want to travel with that sort of thing, you need a cart to carry your alchemical setup.
They are empty.
Yeah, empty. They have the stoppers in, but you touch it and it's not pressured in. Like, they weren't sealed. They just have it there so that you don't lose them.
Detect magic, something.
There's no magical effect here. And you see, like, even though, like, if you were going to brew up anything that would have fumes, this would be the room to do it, because it has some ventilation at the top. There's no traces of anything having actually happened here. You think that, much like someone set up some tools in the other place, they set up this, but, like, there's stuff missing. Like, there's no... Like, with your alchemy kit, you could use these jars, but if you were setting up an alchemy lab, you would get a lot more stuff. Like, this room is a decent enough size that you could have several things. You could have a distillation tower on one side, and you could have... you could probably build some kind of centrifuge on another, just like a spinning device. But there's... all that stuff is missing. It's like someone went and bought, like someone went to a general shop in Falkrist and went like, what could be useful? Like, oh yeah, those jars that could be used for, I don't know, collecting honey or like milk, and brought them here.
Does it look like that there was something here and was removed?
No, the small table was placed here, and you're looking at the traces of dust. Nothing has been moved, nothing's been shifted. The dust covering the jars is the same as the table. It's like this was set up maybe a year ago, maybe more, and it hasn't.
No, continue. Sorry.
No, it hasn't been moved. It hasn't been touched.
Is there any
There's nothing in the
share
jars
here?
themselves.
Is there any share here? Sorry, I had to do the joke.
Any traces inside this jar?
You remove the stopper and you inspect the inside. There's nothing there. Like you look through it, you sniff carefully. The air is extremely stale, as it was. There was almost no circulation with the cork in there. But beyond that, there's no. You don't get any kind of herbal scent. You don't get any spice. There's no acrid. It's just a jar, and it's like someone got supplies at a general goods store and brought them here and did one trip to bring stuff and then didn't get any of the. You're looking around, there's no chairs, and you remember this from when you woke up. There was no place to rest, there were no bedrolls, there was no place to lie down.
Maybe I didn't finish this lab. Like, it got just. I don't know. Has been not really that fruitful. The only that I gathered that maybe my name starts with an L.
What?
Wait, why? What do you mean it's not fruitful? This was the most fruitful outcome we could have. We have points of comparison. We have symbolism that we can now look for. We have an actual data point to look for more things. We know that if you that the type of illusion magic that your group or you uses is disposable illusions. It's not a powerful illusion. We also know that
What do you mean not powerful?
no, because remember the tower, the illusion stayed. It didn't maintain. It didn't lose the power of the illusion. Both of the illusions this cave has disappears the moment you interact with it. That is all important information we now have that you didn't have when you walked into the cave.
I don't know. I was expecting just the answers. But I guess a little mystery.
Are you still wearing the coat?
Yeah.
Sam points at it and goes, if that was a possession of yourself before, divination can be used to glean more information.
Yeah. That is true. I don't know if I can scry on it. Doesn't really lend too much detail for the divination that I have. I'm gonna look at Mara. Do you know?
I have divination, but the spell doesn't.
Do you have something different?
Yes, I have. I mean, it's about a goal. I mean, you ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. That's divination, the divination spell.
Yes.
And
The
the
School
other
of
one?
Divination, however, has scry
the School
and
of-
other.
I don't have anything else like. No.
Well, I don't want to bore you more than that we already have.
I'm not bored.
Who the fuck is bored?
This has been extremely interesting.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
I need to bounce some ideas. Let's take the test. Maybe we can see who was E. Because actually, if we are talking about divination, I'm more interested about who is E. If E is a different person than B, we can actually scry on those clothes. Maybe they're still alive. Maybe you can spray on this chest. Okay, let's kill someone and get our way to the spell magic.
What the fuck?
Let's go.
I believe we have other options, says Sam. And unless someone else is doing it, Sam would carry the chest.
Awesome.
I can do it, but if someone to...
If so, you were one of the with Gufran. You were one of the ones that got it up. So if you take the initiative to pick it up and carry it, you're carrying it.
I will do it because I love Johan.
Okay, kinda unprompted, but thanks. I love me too.
This is the best thing I've ever done in this campaign. By far.
Your fault.
Mara, I kind of need your help.
Okay.
I want to take the dragon off the chest.
The
I want to
L
take
chest.
the L chest. I want to remove I want to take the dragon with us. It's a metal dragon, right?
Yeah.
So you
it's been
know how
riveted
to
into the side. So yeah,
and I'll show you the rivets. As I think you can take this out, right? And I'll look at you like
I mean, like I
smithing.
take my tools and something like that.
yeah, like you
okay.
can try and
Yeah, sure.
pop the rivets off the wood. Sure. So yeah,
Yeah.
no roll required. There's some creaking of wood as you force a chisel in and then hammer it and bend it and it's maybe about that sized. The metal, it quite cold, but it seems to be steel, just painted a deep crimson, and it pops out, and there's a couple of rivets on the back that were made to pierce the wood and then fasten it in place. And you're looking at the back, and the back is bare. It's just bare steel. And you look, and it's a bear. It's a bear. It's a good likeness of a dragon. Like you can tell, you can see the horns. There's ridges on the horns, and that's a yellowish bone color rather than the red of the. But like there's no individual scales on the dragon, and mostly you don't notice it because it's the wings. But on what you can see of the body and the tail, it's just solid. There's no carving of scales. So it's possible that this could be like a mold, like a metal mold, and then it's created from that, but then the painting, like, I mean, if you're willing to like put the work into it, like maybe you're thinking like, could you wrap the horns and then dip it in paint? But it's like you would probably only do it for like important, like this is more work than a wax seal.
Okay.
And that also looks nice. So why do this?
I'll take it to Lena and I'll say, hey, I know you like making stuff.
Yeah.
Would this be done? Like, can you tell how this would be done? Like, if you can ascertain any technique, is it made in magical or like I mean, can you? And I'll pass it on to you.
Sure. I mean, I can assume you need some sort of casting for this. DM doesn't look like it. It seemed because when
now
you
that
cast
you're looking you're looking at the back.
It leaves specific grains.
Yeah. You're looking at the back, and you can see some telltale signs of mold lines that weren't shaved off because this was the back, right? This is once it's attached, you don't see that part. And it's ostentatious for sure. But then again, like you're having an interesting comparison of very simple marking, which is green paint and then red stripes. Then this seal, which is like riveted in, and then the actual arcane lock, and that's like expensive and magical and like purpose built for this specific chest. This is more like it could be like something that a fancy noble or merchant would put onto mark, this is my stuff. And then the main question is, why use a red dragon? Because a red dragon's possessions are its hoard, not the sort of thing that you would be putting like to mark something, but and you're thinking like symbolism. The symbol of a red dragon, like that is one of the most powerful creatures on this world. If this is marking like this belongs to a dragon, you would have to be willing to like risk the fury of a dragon to like open it and steal it. And like if you put this on a chest to mark it, it's basically saying
Don't mess
the
with it.
reputation of this thing is the protection. Like we don't need to lock this chest, because if you know what this means, you know what's going to come down on you. And then you look at the green banner with the stripes. I mean, could those be the claws of a red dragon?
A cult?
It's like, it doesn't make much sense to you. It's
Yeah.
what's the green mean? Like, if not yellow, because to be gold, what? Is it just the contrast with the red? It's like, hey, basic color theory, red claws, so green on background. Yeah.
By the way, if I see Keldav and Mara removing the dragon, I will ask them to remove the lock on the one
Sure.
that is a red dragon.
For that one, you do need to break the wood, but that's not that difficult with your tools now that it's open, and it's in two pieces. And you're looking at the E plaque, and it's a single square piece of metal, but the one that you have in two pieces open with L, it's clearly two. Like, you realize it's like it's not even that they was
magic-
welded together. It was
magic
a
was
solid
keeping
piece
it
of metal.
together.
Yeah, and the magic separated it. But, you know, if it's somehow tied to you and you find a way to relock it, it could be useful to you.
I imagine we were walking in a town with this chest, and suddenly, and we were like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And I mean it to everyone here, even you, Lena. You actually were quite respectful, more than I anticipated. So yeah, thank you.
Sure, whatever. So, Kelda,
we
what do you?
won't be? We are a unit.
I don't know. I always expect that people is about to get me. When you are me, everyone wants to. I don't know.
Don't be scared.
It's hard to explain.
Have
I'm
you
not
ever-
scared.
Have you ever met someone looking specifically for you?
Yeah, but not in the way that you need. I know that what you're trying to ask.
Yeah.
No, not really. I don't think so.
Well, they could be looking for you with the other name, though.
Could be.
Do you remember
By the
the
way-
other name?
This could not be your name. This could be your rank.
Ranks that start with L.
Lieutenant?
Yeah,
Lieutenant.
yeah, but that is if it's a military operation. If it's a different kind of operation, what I'm trying to say is that we cannot assume it's his name.
Yeah, could be. I mean,
I think, Johan, you would also know about importance of names. And
Yeah.
full names, true names, assumed names.
I'm really aware of that right now. It could
Well,
be a name that I was going by.
Lupita.
Peter, the Archmage. I don't know, it doesn't have that quite of a ring. Anyway,
Yeah. Carrying. Do you take anything else? Like, there's fairly cheap jars, fairly simple tools.
I'm gonna take everything and stuff it into the
Okay.
bag of
The only thing I'm taking is the herbalism kit that I asked for.
I took the gold, I took
Sure.
the weird stones, I took the clothes. I'm
Perfect.
still wearing it.
It's an interesting look, I think, that the rest of you see. Johan going from very dark clothing, a rich red, to now this like amber coat with the beige lining. Yeah.
I'm looking
And
at him. I was like, if you're traveling, you need. I think you need to turn it around. But I mean, you don't want to ruin it.
I want to use the real nice. Why do I want to look like a hobo?
No,
Like,
it's because
That
you can.
was a really a face of me that because I was broke. I'm not broke anymore. I have money.
I'm just saying you don't want to ruin it while you're traveling.
Ah. But I can clean it with magic.
But it's true.
Yeah, but not. Okay, it doesn't matter. And Kidlo's walking away.
Yeah. And with that, you step out of the dark, creepy cave. The nervousness, the tension that had been building in all of you except Johan fades as you are now back out on this side of the mountain. You see forested hills in the light of dusk as the sun is setting behind the mountains in front of you. And you know that on the other side of those mountains is the Nentir Vale and where you've had most of your adventures. And you know that now you must travel somewhat north and east over the mountains into whatever future awaits you, with some more answers about your companions and many more questions.
Many more questions.
A lot of questions.
True.
So, it's been a chaotic day, but I'm very glad we got this session and some more information revealed about
We're never going to end this campaign. Never. Like,
Yeah.
every character is so interesting. Like,
Okay, so we're working. I have a little about Siege. We are working. We have a little about Johan. Then tomorrow we're going to work and get a little about Keldab. Then we are going to work.
No.
no.
Keldav is not on this path.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my
I'm
god.
very glad that we got this bit. And
Very
yes,
good session.
I am some of the benefits of the downtime, the over a year and a half, was trying to find whatever places I could tie your characters in to
Right.
this adventure, because it's planned to be a long one, but the final one. And that may not be the case. We'll see what the future holds in 2025 or whenever it is that we actually finish this.
Well, if you watched this far, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Please
I
give
want
us a
to
like.
reveal a couple
Yeah.
more things. So
Oh.
the name of the episode, which the viewers will know, is Born in the Dark. And just because there's
Cool.
no real other place to reveal it, and also the name is not too much of a spoiler, the name of the adventure that we're playing is Purpose of Power.
Oh.
So I have no idea how many sessions this will be, and there will be many mini adventures, as the Dwarven Tunnel was several sessions.
I mean,
but
we
yes.
haven't.
So
We're
it's not
like we
port
just
anymore,
crossed the
it's port?
mountain.
Yeah.
We just crossed
Well-
the mountain.
Yeah,
This is going
So-
to be like 3 years.
the setting is the Points of Light, created
short?
for 4th edition. Yeah,
Paul Pop, episode
8.
8.
well, I think
Okay.
I think we may use the name of the actual adventure for a future episode where it fits. But
Finally.
I wanted to tell you guys that we went from the Reavers of Harkenwald to Purpose of Power.
Wow.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Please
Remember,
give us a like, share, subscribe, share this
Comment,
with a friend. You know,
everything.
comment.
Do
yeah.
all the things.
all the things.
We are
all the
watching you.
Thank you
other
so much.
videos.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. See you next time. Goodbye,
next time.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.